Good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Today is March 29th, March 28th, depending on where you're at in the world. And in this episode, I'm going to be discussing a few important things going on in cryptocurrency right now. Some things that have been kind of overlooked over the last couple months that I think are really important. And just some things that you need to be aware about. So BTC Core Hashrate has hit an all-time high. It's been hitting an all-time high for the last couple weeks, months. And that's just pretty huge, guys, in general, because as the hash rate increases, so does the security, and they just did a difficulty adjustment, I think, recently as well. So to kind of address some of these issues with the difficulty for miners to just become competitive within the mining sector of Bitcoin Core. And just a little side notes, I want to kind of jump here. Hash rate is very is not loyal. It's not loyal to BTC Core. In fact, a lot of these miners I think it was about a week ago, a lot of them started mining Decred kind of out of nowhere, and Decred ended up spiking over 30% in one day. So, and it was the same miners that mine BTC Core. And even though they might mine Decred regularly, I do firmly believe, in my personal opinion, that they did switch some of their mining rigs to mine Decred. That might be kind of just going down the rabbit hole a little too much for this early morning podcast, so I'm not going to get into that too much. But also, I'm going to be touching on Ripple, kind of where Ripple's at with their legal battle and some of the more attractive aspects of this thing being over and that kind of thing, and kind of just sum you up on that. And then most importantly, I'm probably going to make a video on this later. There was a bill back in the state assembly back by the Senate in New York in late January 26th of 2023. They've had a couple meetings or a couple assemblies on the court docket for cryptocurrency and how it could be used as payment for governments and debts obligated by personal and public people that want to settle debts in cryptocurrency, and that basically has came to a close. And New York will be, I think, at April 26th would be the 90-day mark. So about April 26th would be the 90-day mark, where they can start finally accepting Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, BTC Core as a means of payment. So this is pretty huge. It's kind of hard to find these articles, but I've done the digging for you. I'll drop it in the description box. I'll also include the court docket. You can read through the entire the court filings, and if you're good with the legal, technical way that the legal jargon is written, then good luck to you. It's a little bit above my pay grade, but there are summaries on these cases that have been going on for the last couple years that I recommend reading. They're a little bit easier to read and a little bit more public friendly if you don't have a formal bar license with the state, because they are kind of difficult to read if you're just trying to jump in and read the entire court docket. But basically, in sum, and I'll go ahead and sum it up, that basically April 26th of this year, New York will be able to accept Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, and BTC Core as a means of payment to settle public debts with their citizens. If you get a parking ticket, you owe a fine, that kind of thing. So this is pretty interesting. I'm probably going to make a video on it later, but I did want to kind of highlight it in today's episode on here, just to kind of give you an idea of things going on. So I'll kind of jump right into it here. Basically, hash rate with BTC Core has been rising. It's been talked about kind of off and on the last couple weeks, months, more recently, I feel like. But basically, think of, and if you're new to crypto, I want to give you kind of a brief idea of what hash rate really is, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Think of hash rate as the computational power, the computer power of solving these complex math equations within BTC Core protocol to mine a block. Now, more simple, I'd like to add to that, if that went over your head. It's basically all these pictures you see online with all these massive warehouses full of computers that identify as mining. basically think of these all around the world. They're in different countries, most notoriously in the United States and China. And basically, these computers are all competing to solve a math problem. Now, what this does is two things. For one, it secures the network. The more computers that join the network adds security to BTC Core or Bitcoin. It adds not only security, but it also adds protection on the back end to users. Not only is the network becoming more secure, your pockets are becoming more secure as just a symbiotic relationship it has with the actual crypto itself, Bitcoin, right? BTC. So, this happens twofold. It happens on both sides. It happens for the users using BTC Core and or holders. It secures their bag, but it also secures the overall network to perform as it's supposed to, intended to do. And basically, as this hash rate rises, this is nothing more than more mining computers joining the network to take part in Bitcoin mining. And there's a competition among these miners that is often referred to as difficulty. Now, every once in a while, difficulty adjustment reaches a certain level where the actual difficulty for mining a block becomes so high that it outweighs the actual miners' ability to actually achieve mining a successful block. Because just because you're mining Bitcoin and you're mining Bitcoin does not necessarily mean you're going to get a block reward. Does not mean that you're going to get the current BTC block reward for mining a block. It just simply means you're in competition to basically work in competition among these other miners to get a block reward. So it's not a guarantee. I want to be clear on that. Now, think of, you also hear things like nodes, right? Like, what is a node? Basically, a node is not participating in mining. Running a node, anybody can run a node. And basically, running a node on BTC is just simply downloading the entire blockchain and making sure that the computer software and the actual integrity of BTC Core is being executed in the right fashion. So it's just basically like think of nodes as basically just people overlooking the network. That's just the most simple way. They don't get any kind of reward for doing this. It's just simply validating that Bitcoin is running exactly how it should, and they kind of cross-check the miners, and the miners kind of cross-check the node operators, kind of. I mean, in general, this is kind of the idea here. So back to the topic of discussion. I hope that gave you kind of an idea of what hash rate is, mining is, and node running a full node is. So basically, as this hash rate increases, it also basically it's a good thing for crypto in general, because it's showing that Bitcoin BTC Core is getting more secure. As more miners join the mining of BTC, it basically is showing that this is becoming a more secure network, less vulnerabilities, that kind of thing. So Bitcoin has registered a third largest 3-month spike in years in hash rate. Data shows that the Bitcoin mining hash rate has recently registered its third largest 3 months upward increase in the last 5 years. Now, this article was put on by the Bitcoinist today, not even 24 hours ago. As an analyst on Twitter pointed out, only the aftermath of 2021 China ban and the 2019 bear market saw a more rapid increase in the mining hash rate. It is an indicator that measures of the total amount of computing power that miners have connected to the Bitcoin blockchain. So what this means is sometimes people will go back and they will try to derive a prediction from the idea of hash rate rising and the difficulty adjustment rising and the price of BTC Core, and they will try to calculate where they think this thing will go in terms of price against dollars. And I've yet to really buy into this, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really buy this because if you look at the different charts that try to explain hash rate, difficulty, and BTC price, it's not consistent. And I mean, drop it in the comments section if you disagree with this, but it seems like it's not very consistent. It's not a consistent argument. If you base the different narratives around these price jumps in BTC core price and or just in general, the dynamics of hash rate, difficulty adjustment, people coming in, the narrative, the price of BTC, it's not a consistent argument, I don't think, at least from my perspective. But we all have different opinions. If you think there's a direct result on hash rate, difficulty, and price, I know that in general, it seems to be kind of what the narrative is pushing in terms of this is why Bitcoin is rising, but to me, I'm just not buying it 100%. So drop it in the comments if you think this is that hash rate and difficulty adjustment and Bitcoin price are directly correlated with the current narratives that we've seen thus far. I'd love to know your opinions and that kind of thing. So when these metrics values go up, miners are bringing more machines online to BTC Core network right now. Such trends suggest that the blockchain is currently attractive to mine for these chain validators. Basically, like I said, more people are joining the network, the Bitcoin network. 70% up to 12 BTC plus, I'm sorry, I read the wrong thing here. But I'll drop this article in here. It's just kind of an interesting parallel if you look at the graph, and this is on Glassnode. You basically can see the price against Bitcoin hash rate, Bitcoin price, difficulty adjustments, and upwards hash rate adjustment, downwards hash rate adjustment, that kind of thing. And make sure if you're looking at these graphs, I don't know if this one's on log. I can't tell. It's very small writing, but I would recommend looking at these graphs on log, not linear. Because the problem, if you look at it on linear, it's going to be very, very skewed. It's going to be way off. So look at it. If you're going to look at it, make sure everything's set to log. That way you can basically see the momentum changes in these different assigned inputs. That way you can basically determine your own argument on this case, because I just, to me, it's not foolproof, honestly. It's just not, because if you go back and you look at some of the other jumps in Bitcoin price, if you apply the narratives of what we were hearing on the mainstream news to just difficulty adjustment, hash rate, and just that kind of thing in the Bitcoin price, it doesn't add up fully to me. But again, it's just my opinion, and we'll see what you guys think about it and that kind of thing. So also Ripple, where are we at with this thing, right? Well, it's going. It's been going for the last couple of years, and it's personally probably the biggest. It's bigger than FTX. It's bigger than Terra Luna. It's bigger than Celsius. It's bigger than Voyager. It's bigger than any of these. To give you an idea of how big this XRP thing, Ripple, and being deemed a security really is. It's basically coming to a close here. So XRP, the lawyer side on XRP, John Deaton, he's pro Ripple, I believe. He's even the attorney for Ripple. XRP has the most attractive risk-reward ratio, in my opinion. The judge ruling is coming down to the next few weeks, even as early as this week. If the SEC wins, what's the downside from 0.45? And this is very, very controversial statement he's making, because like he said, what is the downside from 0.45? Well, I mean, really, what is it? If the U.S. marks this as a security, well, what's going to happen to XRP? It's going to go up. You know, I talked about this as an episode. I put a video on about a week ago when XRP jumped 30% on positive news articles. But basically, if XRP is deemed a security here in the United States, that doesn't mean shit. So what? You know, so what? So what if I don't think it's on Coinbase. So what if any U.S. exchange is no longer allowed to continue because they've already suspended XRP from their platform, but you can still buy it on swapping on different cryptocurrency non-custodial wallets. So really, it hasn't stopped. But what it'll do if the SEC does deem it as a security, as basically they are trying to do for the last couple of years, they basically will it will basically cause the price of XRP to rise, because worldwide we'll see this as a vulnerability in terms of crypto pricing against the US, and the US trying to basically pull a strong arm on XRP. So it's just going to cause the price of XRP to go up. And he continues to go in this tweet: Ripple appeals and we get the status quo. Ripple went and has made that XRP clearly isn't a security. So basically Ripple Labs wins either way. The only way that Ripple Labs has lost thus far is just the money that they've had to expend on this expenditure of trying to basically prove that XRP is not a security. And attorney fees, time away, this money could have gone towards something beneficial for Ripple XRP, but it's just not the case, guys. It's been in court for years now, and this is probably one of the more controversial cases in my personal opinion. The only one that we had really before this was the launch of Tezos, which was the largest ICO ever raised. And I just can't think of anything since I've been in crypto the last 6 years that has been bigger than this Ripple case. Not even FTX, not even Terra Luna, none of this stuff. So we'll see how it goes, guys. I'm not ruling it out, but I think that XRP will win either way. And I'll put this link in there as well, let you guys check out this article so you can see where I'm pulling the data. And I'll go and wrap up the episode here with the last bit, because I will be making an episode or video later on this, on Bitcoin Cash being listed in the New York proposed bill as a means of payment, along with Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Core. So 4 different cryptocurrencies are going to be being rolled out here in about 90 days for any settling of debts that you might owe to New York, parking tickets, fines, that kind of thing. In New York, we'll be able to use these cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. I'm going to drop the full docket so you can read in the description box. If you like reading all that legal jargon, I'll put the full document in there to check out. And let me know your thoughts on some of this stuff, guys. It's pretty big for crypto. I think that it's pretty exciting stuff, so we'll see how it goes. And we'll catch you guys in the next stream. Later.